Okay, so I've got this thing, which is actually pretty well stuck on there. This is the gallery lip that I'm doing first. I'm gonna get this wet, and I'm gonna put it in place. I've already trimmed a little bit. I did some design work on here because I thought it was a little boring. I'm gonna center this thing as best I can, and I'm gonna push it down, and that's gonna kind of make it stick. I'm also gonna put pressure up top here, but I'm gonna center this right in on top. Now, this thing's pretty tall at the moment, so I'm a little worried about it. But I have, these are pretty dried out lugs. These leads right here, they're pretty dry. So I think they're gonna do a pretty good job. I also wet the wheel, I damped the wheel head when I did this so that they would move. There is a reasonable amount of danger here in terms of the whole thing kind of going crazy. But I'm basically trimming this thing, giving it a knob of some sort. Need to do something more interesting with this knob up here. Now this is a new trimming tool for me. I probably shouldn't be using it because I'm not so used to it. Should probably stick to the things that I'm used to for the video. Definitely a little off center. Just bugging me. I had this thing pretty centered at one point. I think it needs to be shifted slightly. But you get the general idea of what I'm doing here. So I have a lid. It's pretty well stuck on there. I have a lid which fits into a gallery on the top. I actually think that I want to trim a little off the sides of this so that it fits a little easier. So I can just put that right on there. Take a little off the side here. It's definitely off center. And I should be taking the time to get this better centered. Want to remove a little bit of that clay from the side there. Now that just moved around on me. I just wanted to take a little bit off of that so this will fit in a little looser. Okay. Wouldn't hurt for me to take a little bit more off of this here. That fit comfortably. All right, so here's the other lid. You see how this one fits on here like this. I'm using this chuck situation just like I did in the last one. This one I'm going to take and I'm actually going to put it right on top of this here, which gives me an opportunity to just use this as a chuck. I can use my actual vase as a chuck, and all I really need to do here is remove some of that clay on the bottom. I'm not going to want to make this completely round because I don't think I want to leave this entire thing unglazed. So I'm not going to fire this thing on the pot. I'll fire it separately sitting next to the pot. Which means I'm going to want this to be a little flat so it'll set on there. All right, so we're left with these two pots. They got pretty decent handles. I let them dry a little bit so I could pick them up. I did push down on the bottom of this one just to give it a little indent so that it doesn't scratch the table as much as it would be if it was the full-size thing. This one, I had actually trimmed that one before. This one I trimmed simply by doing that, kind of putting a little bit of a bevel on it, and then I also push down on that. Regarding lids, there are a billion different lids you could create. You just got to be creative with them. There are certain kind of concepts that are good to know how to do, but in general, there's lots of different ways to make a lid, and you should not limit yourselves to making lids that already exist. All right, there you go.